Kind of like I said when we talked before, I'm not going to talk a whole lot. I know. But the American Studies class is a class that we put together last year. Ms. Yazel and I, with combined English, U.S. history. We were able to get college credit through Grace College and try to do a lot of hands-on project-based learning. And one of the things that ended up happening is we ended up kind of as a really large project taking on trying to save Krill School. And as we did that, it really started. I was in the superintendent's office one day in the summer, and Dr. Kramer and Mr. Boggs were trying to figure out what to do with the school that they thought was going to revert back to us, Krill School. And as we started investigating that, Krill School had already been back to us, and back to Henry Township, and to a then defunct organization, the Krill School Board. And what happened was we ended up going to a meeting, get involved. I'll let these guys start to talk about that a little bit. And I'll let Ms. Yazel talk here.
Yeah, so what we did is we got the newspaper article from Mr. Boggs, presented that to the kids, had them read it, and asked them what they thought we could do with that. And so they brainstormed a lot of ideas about what they would like to do with the Krill School. Many of them remembered those students who had been to Akron, the Pioneer Day that they had been a part of with the 4th grade at Akron. And so they looked upon that fondly, and that was one of the projects that they wanted to get involved with. So our first step was to go, we brainstormed, we talked to Mr. Boggs, and then we went to the reorganization meeting. At that point, then several of our students showed up for that, participated in it, and 3 students actually then ran for and got a seat on the board. So we were active in that. Through that participation with those students on the board, then we had several other projects that we worked with the Krill School. We did a fundraiser. They needed funds badly to restore the electricity, put up a security light, and do some other things. So our class partnered with Viking Foods to hold a Grill for Frill fundraiser. The kids ran the food booth. The supplies were donated by Viking Food and some of their suppliers. And part of the profits we got and donated then to Krill School. Another project we worked on just happened to be when we were talking about Constitution. They needed to rewrite or revise their bylaws, and they asked our class to look at them. We looked at several different types of bylaws, and then they came up with a new set that they proposed then to that board. And then this fall, or the spring, then we started talking about doing a Pioneer Day, which the kids were interested in. So just a second here, we'll have a PowerPoint up. We'll show you some pictures of what happened. And Courtney and Mitch will tell you that.
It was really good for our kids as much as, I think, for the 4th graders at Akron and Mentone. An opportunity for our kids to really interact and own a little bit of history and have to communicate that history to kids. And I think you guys, members of the board, have a DVD from Mr. Boggs, and that's a little bit long for us to show tonight, but really a nice DVD from our day last month. And then just last Friday, just several days ago, we were able to come and do the same thing here at Mentone. These guys have been instrumental as leaders there, and written a couple grants for the Mentone Parents group, received some money to help defray some of the costs, and then the other night, you may have seen the paper, fortunate enough to be really rewarded well by the inaugural Tippecanoe Valley Grant Association we received. So they've worked really hard to do things, and we'll let them talk to you a little bit here. If you have any questions, we'll answer at the end.
All right, I'm Mitch Randall, and I'm going to talk to you about the substitute before we actually had Pioneer Day. And when our teachers approached us about it, as a class, we were all excited about it because half of us went to Akron and we had done it before when we were kids, and we loved it. And then the rest of the class from Mentone knew about it, and they heard our stories, and they were excited. So we first contacted the teachers who have now retired from Akron, who led it when they were teaching, and we got their opinions, their views, we got their step-by-step instructions on how to do things. And as a class, we sat down, divided ourselves into stations, and we planned on what we would need and how we would run it. Then we set up a day where the teachers came in and they went through each station that they knew about and they taught us what to do. And after that, we found out what we could do and what we couldn't do and how well things would work, and we improved our plans, and we began compiling lists of the supplies we needed and our teachers, and our teachers went out and they got supplies for us, and we came back. We set aside 2 days to practice, and probably one of the best parts about the practice was we failed at making our taffy candy, and when that failed, a lot of the acting kids were very upset about it because that was one of our favorite stations. So one of our students, Chris Gagnon, went home that night and perfected it, and then came back the next day and encouraged our teachers to let us do it. So he got our taffy station back, and everyone was excited about that. And we even had the teachers volunteer to come in on Pioneer Day and work with us to help out more. So then, after going through the practice stations and being trained by the teachers, we got all our supplies together and we went to act.
One of the points that was really stressed when we got to Krill School, the second half of the school day, was that the one-room schoolhouse was very small and we had 60 kids. So one of our ideas was that we would create more activities besides just at Akron Elementary School that the kids could do outside. We would keep them in their stations, in their groups, but we would rotate them from the schoolhouse where they would have their mock lessons from our school teachers, which were 4 students in our class. And because it was a gorgeous day outside, we let them do 5 more stations outside, which included rope or bead making, penny rugs, washing clothes, etc. So what we did was, during the second half of the school day, after the kids ate lunch, we took them to Krill School, which earlier the class had helped raise money to fix up, doing our fundraisers. And starting with first group, they would have their mock lesson inside of the schoolhouse while we were all stationed outside around the yard and had various other stations that the kids could enjoy. And the kids would come after they finished lunch on the school buses, and as soon as they got there was always something for them to do. And we would, throughout the stations, we'd be taking pictures, and we'd be asking the children questions from their station to see how much they have listened and what they remembered. It was really fun. I think that it was good for the children to be able to actually experience what history was like, not just in a textbook, actually in person, and being able to create various little objects that was considered chores back during the old days, the 1800s, and they found them fun and they could take them home. Like the activities back at the schools, like candle making, taffy. But when we went to Mentone Friday and we weren't able to do the activities outside the school like we had at Akron because the weather wasn't as nice. So we had to kind of plan to have the activities back at Mentone Elementary School instead. But due to some difficulties, we weren't able to actually have the Mentone children make the penny rugs or wash the clothes or play the games the Pioneer children played, but we were able to still kind of give them a glimpse of what they would have done by actually making and doing the things for them and giving them as a present for when they went home. So.
And I think we probably had a little bit of a technology glitch. These guys put together a PowerPoint presentation to show you tonight. There were some pictures from the other day, some quotes from some of the kids that participated, the 4th graders, when they sent responses back to the class. But when you get home, if you watch that DVD, you'll feel for it. And really, that's what this PowerPoint was supposed to kind of show you, what was in the DVD a little bit, show you some pictures and some quotes for kids. But, as you heard, they had to learn to own that material, share it with kids. I know that several people in the community have been excited about it. It's really been a good thing for us. So if you have any questions or for us or for the kids.
The Pearl School Board was excited that the kids were going to do it also, and that's, so they had Channel 4 from Rochester come out and do the video, which was really nice. And of course, then we did Mentone on Friday. Tom Judy came out and did a nice story.
And that's the article that you have right there.
On that activity also. So we appreciate their support.
Any questions?